When are you going to just grow up already? This was a question that was posed to me far too often when I was younger. As a kid, I was very far from mature. I was one of the kids in school who constantly got into trouble. At home, I was the laziest person you could ever meet. My idea of a productive day was beating the next level on my newest video game. This all changed on the worst day of my life. It was December of 2008, and I was hanging out with my friends at a local sandwich shop, waiting for my dad to pick me up after a long day at school. Eventually, around 5 o'clock that afternoon, he arrived. I got into his beat-up old Chevy Cavalier and immediately received news that would change my life forever. "Jeffrey," he said with a somber tone that I didn't recognize, "I left your mom. We are getting a divorce." My heart felt like it had been removed, replaced by a black hole that sucked all of the joy out of my mind. The ride home was eerily silent. When we arrived back home, I got out of the car and watched as my dad, the man whom I shared a name with, drove away. For a moment in time, I just stood motionless in the frigid air, tears welling up in my eyes and wondering what we were going to do. When I finally went inside, I walked to my mom and wrapped my arms around her as she broke down and cried. It was this day, this moment, when I realized that I couldn't be the immature little kid I was anymore. I had to grow up and become the man of the house. I had to take over most of my dad's responsibilities, as well as helping more with my sister. While this situation allowed me to mature a lot, it also forced me to grow up way too fast and lose one of the most precious things anybody has growing up: their childhood.